Hello, everybody. Welcome to my welcome to my top 10 favorite WWE pay-per-views of all time. So let's get started. Coming in at number 10, it was my favorite WWE pay-per-views of all time is a WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania 21. WrestleMania 21 was a good show. On the pay-per-view, you had Undertaker versus Randy Orton. Piper's Pit with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You had John Cena versus JBL for the WWE Championship. You had the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. You had main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, Triple H versus Batista. Women's Championship match, Trish Stratus versus Christy Hemme. You had a Big Show versus Aki Bono in a sumo match. I don't know why that was on the card. And you had a all-time classic at this pay-per-view. That was Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels tearing the house down, match of the night, in my opinion. So yeah, World One pay-per-view was a good show. WrestleMania 21 was a good show. Number 9, it is Unforgiven. It is Unforgiven 2003. Unforgiven 2003 was a good show. Also, I forgot to mention, WrestleMania 21's theme songs were Behind Those Eyes by Three Doors Down and Big Time by the Soundtrack of Our Lives. Songs are okay. Behind Those Eyes was a good song, though. Big Time by Soundtrack of Our Lives was alright. Unforgiven 2003, you had Triple H and Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship. You had RVD, Christian and Chris Jericho triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. You had Kane and Shane McMahon in the Last Man Standing match. Trish Stratus and Lita versus Gail Kim and Molly Holly. You had Legend Killer versus Legend, Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton. See, Unforgiven 2003 was a good pay-per-view. So yeah, the theme songs for Unforgiven 2003, the theme song for Unforgiven 2003 was "Enemy" by Sevendust. Awesome song. Number 8 on my favorite pay-per-views of all time, it is Armageddon 2002. Armageddon 2002 was an amazing show. You had the WWE Championship match, Kurt Angle versus The Big Show. You had Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero. You had Kane versus Batista. You had a 3 Stages of Hell match for the World Heavyweight Championship, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. So yeah, Unforgiven 2002 Armageddon 2002 was a good show. Number 7, it is Bad Blood 2004. Bad Blood 2004 was a good pay-per-view. That's why I like it. Bad Blood 2004 had you had the super long Hell in a Cell match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. You had a match for the World Heavyweight Championship, Chris Benoit versus Kane. You had Chris Jericho versus Tyson Tomko. You had I forgot. It's been long since I've seen this pay-per-view. Bad Blood 2004, or you got the match for the Women's Championship, Trish Stratus, Lita, and I forgot who else was in that match. Trish Stratus and Lita, I remember. Oh, Victoria. Yeah. So yeah, Bad Blood 2004, good show. Bad Blood 2004's theme song was Soul Me by Seether. Awesome song. Number 6, it is No Way Out 2005. No Way Out 2005 was an amazing show. You had John Cena versus Kurt Angle. You had Tag team match for the World Tag Team Championships. You had Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio versus the Basham Brothers. In the main event, you had a barbed wire steel cage match between the WWE Champion JBL and the Big Show. And No Yet 2005's theme song was Enemy by Fozzy. Awesome song. So yeah, No Yet 2005. And number 5, one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time, it is SummerSlam 2005. SummerSlam 2005 was an awesome show. You had Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. You had Batista versus JBL, World Heavyweight Title No Holds Barred match. You had a rematch from WrestleMania. Randy Orton defeated The Undertaker. You had WWE Championship match, John Cena versus Chris Jericho. You had Edge versus Matt Hardy. Chris Benoit versus Orlando Jordan. Kurt Angle versus Eugene. So yeah, SummerSlam 2005 was a pretty awesome show. The theme song was Remedy by Seether. I think I've already said that. So yeah. So number 4 on my favorite pay-per-views of all time, it is Vengeance 2003. A fantastic show. One of the best shows of the Ruthless Aggression era. You had a good match between John Cena and The Undertaker. You had triple threat main event, WWE Champion Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle and The Big Show. You had Vince McMahon versus Zach Gowen. You had Stephanie McMahon versus Sable. Match for the United States Championship, Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero. You had the World's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas versus Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. You had the APA Invitational Bar Brawl, which is run by Bradshaw. So yeah, Vengeance 2003 was an absolute awesome show. That's why it's at number 4. Number 3 is WrestleMania 17. People would say the greatest WrestleMania of all time. At pay-per-view, you had the awesome classic between The Rock and Stone Cold. It was the WrestleMania where Stone Cold had turned heel and joined Vince McMahon. You had The Undertaker versus Triple H, Eddie Guerrero versus Test, Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. Triple threat hardcore match, Raven versus The Big Show and Kane. You had TLC, the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian. Awesome match. You had a street fight between Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon. You had China versus Ivory. So yeah, WrestleMania 17, awesome WrestleMania, good show. It's right at number 3. Number 2, it is Backlash 2003. I forgot to mention, WrestleMania 17's theme song was My Way by Limp Bizkit. Backlash 2003, you had Big Show and Rey Mysterio. Nash, Michaels, and Booker T versus Jericho, Triple H, and Ric Flair. You had Goldberg's debut match was Goldberg versus The Rock. You had Los Guerreros versus the World's Greatest Tag Team. So yeah, and the theme song was Remedy by Cold. Awesome song and an awesome pay-per-view. Number 1, it is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. It is WrestleMania 20, 2000 from 2004. You had, of course, you had Undertaker versus Kane, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. You had a Christian versus Chris Jericho. The triple threat main event, Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. You had Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship. Victoria versus Molly Holly for the Women's Championship. So yes, WrestleMania 20 was also the first ever Hall of Fame induction ceremony to happen the night before WrestleMania, which would go leading forward in the few years. So WrestleMania 20 was without a doubt my favorite pay-per-view of all time. The theme songs were Step Up by Drowning Pool and Touche by Godsmack. Both awesome songs. So there you guys go. There is my favorite WWE pay-per-views of all time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't miss out because I got more great wrestling videos coming your way for the rest of January and February and March. So you guys go. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video.